There is a man on a mountain. You have never met him, but you know his name. You know the weight he carries. You know the sound of stone grinding against stone, and the silence that follows when it slips from his hands. His name is Sisyphus, and he has been climbing forever. Before the punishment, before the boulder, Sisyphus was a king of Corinth, the most cunning mortal who ever lived. He outwitted gods the way other men outwit merchants. When death itself came for him, Sisyphus chained it. He locked Thanatos in iron bonds, and for a time, no human being on earth could die. Soldiers rose from battlefields. The old refused to pass. The entire order of mortality ground to a halt, because one man refused to go quietly. When the gods freed death and dragged Sisyphus to the underworld, he talked his way back out. He told Persephone his wife had failed to perform the proper burial rites, that he needed to return to the surface to scold her. It was a lie, of course, and once he was back among the living, he simply refused to return. The gods do not forgive cleverness. They tolerate strength. They even respect cruelty. But a mortal who makes them look foolish, that they cannot abide. Zeus himself designed the punishment. Not fire, not chains, not an eternity of pain, though pain would have been simpler. Instead, they gave Sisyphus a task, a boulder, immense and smooth, placed at the base of a steep hill. His sentence? Push it to the summit. That is all. Push the stone to the top, and you are free. But the stone will never reach the top. Every time Sisyphus nears the crest, every time his muscles scream and his fingers claw into the rock and the peak is close enough to taste, the boulder resists. It shifts. It tilts. And then, with the slow certainty of a falling sun, it rolls back down to the bottom. Every single time. This is the cruelty of it. Not the labor. Labor can be endured. It is the hope. The gods gave him just enough reason to believe that this time might be different, that this push might be the last. And then they take it away, over and over for all of eternity. The punishment is not the rock. The punishment is the almost. For thousands of years, this myth stood as a warning. Defy the gods, and they will break you. But in 1942, a French philosopher named Albert Camus looked at the same story and saw something the ancients never intended. Camus lived in a world at war. Europe was burning. Millions were dying for causes that seemed, in the cold light of reason, meaningless. He asked a question that most people are afraid to ask. If life has no inherent meaning, if there is no God handing down purpose from above, then why go on living at all? His answer was Sisyphus. Camus argued that the universe is fundamentally absurd. We are creatures who demand meaning from a world that offers none. And the temptation, when we realize this, is despair. Or worse, surrender. But Camus refused both. He said there is a third option. You can acknowledge the absurdity, stare it full in the face, and choose to live anyway. Choose to push the boulder anyway. The key, Camus wrote, is the walk back down. After the stone falls, after the failure, there is a moment when Sisyphus turns and descends the hill to begin again. And in that moment, he is free. The gods cannot touch him there. He is aware of his fate. He accepts it. And in that acceptance, he finds something the gods never intended to give him. He finds ownership of his own existence. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. That is how Camus ended his essay. Not because the struggle is pleasant, not because the outcome changes, but because the struggle itself, fully owned and fully conscious, is enough. We are all pushing boulders. Every morning we wake to tasks that will never stay finished. We build careers that crumble. We love people we will lose. We chase goals that, once reached, reveal only another hill behind them. The rock always falls. But here's what the myth teaches us, if we are willing to listen. The meaning was never at the top. It was never in the completion. It was in the pushing. in the burning of the muscles, in the grip of the hands, in the decision, made again and again, to walk back down and begin once more. The rock will fall tomorrow. It will fall the day after that. It will fall for as long as you are alive, and the only question that matters is not whether you can stop it, but whether you can find something in yourself that the falling cannot reach. Sisyphus is still climbing, and so are you.